to help you remember, to help your children remember, and to help their children imagine what life was like years and years before them. Alex Sumner next on the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com. Thank you for calling the Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder Hotline. If you have ADHD, please press 1. So you do have ADHD. Is this correct? Please press 1. Now that we know the it is only necessary to make your selection. It has been established you do have ADHD. Please. Okay, dude, seriously, if you want help, you're going to have to stop playing with the keypad. Oh, look, it's a shiny ball with bells on it. Thank you for calling the Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder Hotline. Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there was a night of that flag back in 1970. What didn't know about the World War Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groovy long hair, just walking in style with a portable MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program.
Only Chris Top.
Play the music on the Chris Top program. Hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
Sunny Clarksville, Tennessee.
You can hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from our lavish home studio here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone today because normally we'll interview musicians and singers and stuff like that on the show. I mean, we've interviewed actors and authors and things like that in the past, but today we have photographers on the show, and it's interesting because I always thought it was easy to take a picture. I mean, and now anybody can take pictures because you've got your your smartphones. You can just whip it out and just take a whole bunch of pictures, and you don't have to worry about running out of film or anything like that. You just keep taking them until you get the right one. Well, it's not that easy, I've come to find out, because I'll take a gazillion pictures, and none of them are as good as some of these artists that we have on the show today. And there's a certain, I guess, knack to it, or maybe it's a talent, it's a God-given talent. I don't know. But regardless, I'm glad we have people like Holly and Alex around, just because, I mean, they can express through their eyes things that I couldn't touch. So it's interesting to have them on the show. Question of the day today, and if you would like to answer this question yourself, I'd love it if you would tweet me. What would you do if you won the Powerball? Because everybody's talking about it right now, and I mean, it's before, it's like, a few $1 million, but now it's like over $1 billion. I mean, you would just instantly be a billionaire. It's unreal. Well, I guess after taxes you wouldn't be, but you'd be close enough. You'd be a multimillionaire. It's a lot more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime. So I mean, it's pretty cool to at least dream and think about that. I don't want you to go out and spend your life savings on Powerball tickets for sure, but it would be cool, wouldn't it? I mean, I think, but I mean, that's a lot of money at once. I mean, would it mess with your head? Would it change you? I mean, I'm sure it would in one way or another. And you hear all these stories, too, about all these people who won the Powerball, and then 5-10 years down the road, they were just broke again and living in a trailer. I mean, what the hell do they do with the money? I mean, I would like to think I would be different. I'd invest a little bit, pay off some bills, and just live the life. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard. But then again, I've never been given a check for millions and millions of dollars either, so I don't know. And I was thinking earlier, what would I do? Because I want to answer the question too. What would I do if I won? And I was talking with Allie about this the other day. It would be so cool to buy up about 5 or 10 acres of land, put up a studio, and set up like a little concert venue, like an outside stadium kind of thing, so independent artists could come and play. And then I was thinking it would be neat too to be able to help them out with cutting demos and those sorts of things for free for them. And I think that would be something that I would really, really enjoy and love doing. And then I would have people always coming over for interviews. It would just be fun. I mean, I would feel like I was contributing to society. So that's what I would do if I won a whole bunch of money. So what would you do? And that's the question today. You can tweet me. You can leave answers on Facebook. You can leave your answers in the chat on thechristoppprogram.com. And if you're listening on iHeart or Stitcher, then you're listening to an archive show. But you can still tweet with me on Facebook, but then just join the live show sometime, and you can join the voices in my head. I know that sounds scary, but it's really, really not as scary as you might think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. So we've got Alex Sumner coming right up on the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com.
When I think of Magnolia Emporium, I think of Randy. I mean, we could talk about how wonderful he is at what he does, but the one thing that sets this design firm apart from any other one is the simple fact that Randy's just a good guy. Honesty, integrity, and a big heart. Isn't that what you're really looking for? Give Randy a call, 704-248-6808. Magnolia Emporium. We want your space to reflect your success. The Chris Top program, working on being awesome worldwide.
I am a true dork. I will admit it.
Yes.
See,
I am.
We use that as a term of endearment. Do your I'm Batman impression. Good. Oh, that's like Catwoman. Where did that
I don't know. What is that?
That's the closest I can get.
come? Dorks of the world, unite.
I have a picture, like a side-by-side picture of me next to a velociraptor, and
Wow.
we're making the exact same facial
That's impressive.
expression, so it's like twins. Come rap on one of my songs. It'd be a good time.
Just give me a little bit.
Yup, there goes gravity. Yup, there goes gravity. Choke.
Oh, gosh. TheChrisTopProgram.com.
Yeah! You can either talk in the Chris Top program. Take it from the top.
You are absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. This is the Chris Top program. And I do not, nor will I ever take any of you for granted. I promise you that, because I know there's a million other things you could be doing, but you chose to listen to me, and that makes me feel pretty darn good. It really, really does. Now, I'm going to have to fanboy just for a second, Alex, because I've been stalking you ever since we met. And looking at your pictures, and you have such a great eye for taking pictures. Now, do you have to sit there and take like 50 pictures and pick out one that's good? I mean, are you normal in that sense, or do you just know what you're doing and just all of them are great? I mean, how does this even work? I have no clue.
Oh man, It's actually more like 500 to 1 pictures.
I don't feel so bad now. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. Especially like with my kids, I pretty much just stalk them like all day. The camera is in their face, and I'm photographing everything that they do, and then all day, usually what I get like 3 pictures out of it, and so, but that's good. That's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was looking over your biography, and I really, really liked what you said, and I've said this before about my show. One of the reasons I do this is so my kids won't forget me and what my principles were and what type of person I was. But not only that, but also my grandkids will get a chance to have an intimate relationship with me, and their grandkids will know who I am. Through going back and listening to the shows, and I was thinking, man, this is great because I have the platform and the opportunity to do this for my family for generations to come. But and I never thought about it, but with photography, and that's sort of what drives you, I guess.
Yes.
See, that's just so cool because I'd never thought about it because, your great grandchildren can go back and look and see things the way you saw them, the way you see it through your eyes.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It is. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is actually look through photo albums that my nanny had when my mom was a kid and all of her kids were kids. And then, of course, some pictures from her pre-kid. There's not a lot, but what she has is really, really nice to look at because everything changes in the blink of an eye, and it's just really nice to kind of experience their experiences without me being there.
Yeah.
And I want that for my kids, too, and their kids and their kids.
Oh, they're going to have a ton of pictures to go through with you, aren't they?
Oh, too many.
Now, be honest with me. Do you ever drive your husband nuts when you're always taking the camera around, taking pictures? Is he ever like, would you just put the camera down for a second?
Yes, he's actually told me that, especially when
I kind of didn't expect that, but go ahead.
No, I mean, he loves the final product, but yes, I do. I drive him crazy. He'll tell me all the time, Alex, just live in the moment. And I'm like, no, my memory's horrible. I can't do that. I won't remember this.
I mean, are you really bad? I mean, I get taking it to, big events or family get-togethers and things like that. But I mean, do you always have it with you, like when you go to Walmart?
No, but I actually do envy some photographers. I've seen some people take theirs to like Starbucks and Target. I actually have a friend of mine that's local here, Janae, and she's done that. She's gone to Target and Starbucks, and I actually love it. I'm not as brave as that, but shoot, I would if I were brave enough because they're pretty interesting pictures.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you one of those types of people that takes pictures of your food? Because sometimes that drives me crazy.
Oh, no.
That's good.
mean, I have Instagrammed. I can't lie. I have Instagrammed my food, and then my husband again was like, Alex, that's a little, too much. So I'm like, all right, I will enjoy my food because I don't care if I remember my food. I will eat that instead of taking a picture.
Now, your passion is obviously well. First, let's talk about how you got started. I mean, you were, I guess, still pretty young, but your husband actually got you your first camera. Is that right?
He did, yes. And
that was before you were married?
Yes, it was the day that he proposed. It was our 1.5-year anniversary because he was deployed, so we couldn't spend our year anniversary together. Mm-hmm. And he got that for me that morning. That was like my present for our anniversary. And then took me to dinner. We went to this place called Haleiwa Joe's. And we walked around because it's like really pretty outside. They've got a pond and stuff. And he's like, use your camera and take pictures. I'm like, okay. So I'm taking pictures. And then there just so happened to be a wedding photographer there and a planner. And I guess they were talking about different places to shoot there for an upcoming wedding. And he handed him the camera and he said, can you take pictures of us in the gazebo? And he's like, sure, I'll get a couple of snapshots. And then that's when he proposed. So we ended up getting our proposal pictures on the camera he got me, and with
how cool is that? Yeah, do you ever still use that camera, or have you moved on from that one?
I do still have it. I haven't gotten rid of it. I don't shoot with it anymore, but he does actually. Sometimes if he goes on trips, he'll take it with him and he'll photograph with it, and I probably won't get rid of it. Mm-hmm.
And it just started from that. I mean, you just love taking pictures. You realized, I guess, you have an eye for stuff, and then you just kind of went from there.
Yeah, I just trusted my gut and, took off with it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And from there, how many kids do you have?
2.
You have 2, okay. And from there, I guess you just sort of put the two together because, I mean, you love taking pictures of your kids, so I guess thus, started the family photography and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they were definitely what helped me figure out that that's what I love the most, for sure.
And I noticed, too, one thing I love about you is it's not like something that you'd get if you go to Sears, you know? It's a little different. I mean, you've got, I guess I would call them action photos, you know, people outside actually doing stuff. And in a lot of the pictures, it seems like you've really caught a moment, and people aren't necessarily posing for the picture.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I hope for. Thank you.
Yeah, and well, how do you go about doing that? Are you just like, okay, guys, I just want you to hang out and have fun. I'm going to take pictures, or do you sort of guide them a little bit?
A little bit of both. Usually, what I do is I'll pose them because everybody wants at least one pose picture, so I'll pose them, and then I'll say, okay, you know, if you guys want to talk to each other, you can talk, you can joke, you can laugh, you can tickle your 2-year-old or spin your daughter around or throw someone in the air, whatever you guys normally do, whatever you feel like doing. I'm just going to be all up in your business, and I'm going to photograph it.
Well, I didn't know if you did something like that, or maybe you just hung out with. I didn't know how serious this was. Like if you hung out with people like for a week and just took pictures. I mean, that could be an idea, right? I mean, I guess you could just sort of.
Well, yeah.
I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, Chris, that's just stupid. Why would I do that? But no, how often do you get work? I mean, like, is this like a 5-day a week thing, or how does it all come together for you?
I usually have about, depending on the season, I have anywhere between 4 and 6 sessions. I try not to do too many because I really work one-on-one with people. Like, I do consultations with everybody. I try to make sure I get to know everybody. And then through the whole process, I want to make sure that they get everything that they want. So if I have too many clients a month, then I can't spend as much quality time with people. Mm-hmm. But during like spring and fall sessions or seasons, it's more like 12 sessions a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess you really have to get up close and personal with people to be able to take a good picture. I just sort of had an epiphany. It's almost like you have to sometimes know what they want without maybe even them knowing it or telling you sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the consultation helps a lot with that. I try to get everybody there, or at least mom and dad there, or just mom there, and just talk about everyone's personalities. What do you guys like to do for fun as a family? And I really try to get to know everybody, and then that way it makes it easier during the session. I know who's going to be more nervous. I know what they like to do, what makes somebody laugh. I just get like a little glimpse of their life, and it just makes it a little bit easier to photograph what I need.
Now, what are some of your favorite things to photograph? I mean, is it kids or families or still photos? Like what's your favorite stuff?
Definitely children, because they're so honest. I'm never gonna get the same child twice. They're not gonna try and pose for me. They're challenging, and I like challenges.
I was gonna say, man,
never know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, it's got to be very challenging sometimes, because I mean, you never know what kind of a mood a child's going to be in. They could be just screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you cope? How do you cope with that?
I usually, if they get fussy, I just try to redirect them to some new scenery. I've definitely bribed with candy before, I will admit.
You can bribe me with candy. I'll throw a fit sometime, and then you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone likes candy.
Fangirling's in the chat. She says, "Yeah, I love your work, Alex."
Oh.
So I don't know if that's somebody that you know or what, but you got at least one fan.
Oh, that's really sweet.
So how much has your business grown? I mean, since you really got started, when you decided to go professional, how much have you grown since that point?
It's grown a lot. I used to have so much trouble just finding people that would trust me enough to do their pictures. And over time, I think just building relationships with people and trust, I've grown, with my clientele and stuff, for sure. It's rapidly growing.
Well, I've never thought about that either, but that's a big deal too. I guess when you're going to be taking pictures of families, and I'm sure a lot of them, or most of them probably come back because they want to preserve these memories through the years. I mean, you have to have a good trusting relationship with them because you don't want just anything getting published on your website or anything because they trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't ever think about stuff like that. I'm like, well, just take a damn picture, but it's it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now people can go to alexsumnerphotography.com, and you've got some pretty amazing pictures just right there on the front page. I noticed the one with the two little girls up on the hill, and
yeah,
beautiful pictures, absolutely beautiful. And I can scroll over here and go through your portfolio, and I mean, you just got a ton of stuff on there for people to look at. Now, do you have an actual studio set up somewhere, or do you work from home?
I just work from home. I mostly do outdoor pictures, and then I have a home office where people come for like the proof sessions and stuff. But I don't really do actual studio work. I'm about to this year, but in the past, usually no.
Gotcha.
If I did do studio work, it was like, in my house.
Gotcha. Now, do you hope to expand on that later on, or is that just something that you're just going to leave it like? Because I would think with what you love to do, and since you like to do this stuff outside, you don't really need a big space or a place where you have to pay rent. I mean, with the social networking and with you being able to travel and stuff like that, I wouldn't guess you'd ever have to have one, would you?
No, I had thought about it at one point, but I just don't do enough indoor stuff. I don't know what it is. I guess I just like to roam around and have the space,
Right. And now, do you like being your own boss, or would you ever consider working for like a big magazine, like a National Geographic or like a Home and Garden or something, whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, would you be willing to do something like that, or do you like reporting to yourself every day?
Man, that's a good question. I do like having the creative freedom to do as I please, but I guess it would be pretty cool to work with National Geographic or Better Homes and Garden. Just for the experience. I'm a pretty stubborn person though, so especially if you throw in anything with the arts. So if somebody tells me that I have to have this done at this time, I don't know how I would do, but I mean, it would definitely be an interesting experience to try if I had the opportunity.
Could be a good challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at one of your pictures in particular. There's a family. They're in the woods and there's an old truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that picture. Now, where's that old truck at? Did you just happen to come up find it, or how did you even know it was there?
No, that is at a really awesome place in Hopkinsville called Christian Way Farms. They have a couple of old trucks out there actually, and some old farm equipment. They have like in the fall, you can pick pumpkins. They have like outdoor golf and all kinds of things that you can do. A big park for the kids. It's a really nice area, and that was just. I actually went there one day. They have sunflowers that grow towards the fall, and that's why I went there one time. And then I saw the truck there, and I was hooked. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's one that's really neat too. I guess it's a dad with his son, and he's doing the little fist bump thing. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures too. I could honestly just sit here and look at your stuff just all day long. It's so cool, and it's classy. And I notice most of them are in color, but there's quite a few that are in black and white as well. How do you know? And I asked Holly this earlier. Like, how do you know what should be in color and what should be in black and white? Is it just a gut feeling, or is there a science behind it?
It's definitely a gut feeling. Usually, my more moody pictures, I do in black and white because I let the personality or the emotion of the picture tell the story rather than the colors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and it's good seeing, I guess, these situations and these moments through your eyes like that, because I wouldn't know. I mean, I would just be like, let's put this in black and white, let's make this one color, because it's easy because you got those filters on your phone. but I just sort of spin the wheel, and wherever it falls, that's what I do. I want to welcome Vanessa Eckhart. She's in the Spreaker chat. She says, I love Alex and her work. She's well, I can't see it all, but she said something else, and I think it was a good compliment. But so you got some fans out there, obviously. You've got a pretty good Facebook following.
Yeah. Vanessa's a really good friend of mine, too. She's so supportive.
Yeah. Did you ever think it would lead to this when you got that camera?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. Yeah. Now, how far do you hope this takes you in your life? I mean, are you happy doing what you're doing, or I mean, is this something that obviously you want to do it for the rest of your life? But I mean, are you doing good enough now, or do you always hope to, I guess, improve and do more? Well, I guess that's a silly question. I guess I'm asking, how successful are you looking to get? I guess is what I'm asking.
The success really isn't a big deal to me. I definitely want to improve. I mean, forever and ever and ever. Actually, if I even drop my business today and just photograph my kids for the rest of my life, obviously they're going to grow up, so I can't. Mm-hmm. That's really sad. But I would be happy even doing that. It's just, I don't know. The thing about the business and getting more and more clientele, I don't know. I love building the relationships with people, and I love photographing all kinds of different personalities and relationships. And it's really not, I mean, the success is just, I mean, if I got more successful, that'd be awesome. But
yeah, I guess it all kind of depends on, how you define success. I mean, is it, are you happy every morning when you get up, and do you love what you do? I mean, that's a level of success. And I guess it depends on you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we've got a comment in the chat. Alex is quite possibly the most talented photographer I know. She's an amazing person inside and out. Does it embarrass you to hear stuff like that, or are you because you seem like you're really a humble person?
I don't know what to say. That's really sweet. I'm gonna find out who's saying all this stuff.
Now, I've got an interesting question in the chat. Somebody asked this. They said, "What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you?"
What would I do differently? Oh, that's a really good question.
And I'm not exactly even sure I understand it. I mean, I guess she's asking, would you take different types of pictures, or would you take things that maybe push the envelope if nobody really judged you? I mean, is there are there other passions involved in there as well?
Well, I guess some things that I would do differently if I knew I wouldn't be judged for it. This is actually something, now that I think about it, something that I've struggled with, is to change up my style a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of pictures that I have edited that I've never shown anybody because it doesn't fit my everyday style. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why people like my work. I don't know if it's my style or anything, and so I'm scared sometimes if I change my style, like my editing or my shooting, if I get more brave with it, that people just wouldn't like it, or they would like what I usually do better, and I struggle with that. So I guess, I would just be more daring to show those little parts of me that I do behind the scenes and that I don't show people.
Sure, and I never thought about it, but I guess photography, like for a writer, for a songwriter, they're really putting their self out there when they write a song, and they're willing to be personal with the whole world, and I guess in a sense that's what the photographer's doing as well. So it really reflects who you are, I guess, and the type of stuff that you put out there and you let people see. Now, do you show your unpublished stuff to your friends, or is that just stuff you strictly keep to yourself?
There are some things that nobody on this earth has seen.
Oh, wow. See, now you've got me curious. Do you think you'll ever go out? You think you'll ever take that step and just one day, oh, screw it, I'm going to do it, and just publish all of it?
Oh, probably. I get those random sparks of energy sometimes where I'm just like, whatever, who cares what people think? And then 5 seconds later, I'm like, oh, everybody cares.
Right.
So, sure, one day, yeah.
Well, I guess it's hard too because you've made a living off of it and you've developed a brand, and you're always thinking in your mind, well, is this going to corrupt or destroy the brand in some way? And maybe it would open it up to a ton of other people, but it's not your base clientele that you have set up already. So, I mean, there's a lot of business involved in it as well, huh?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, and Kimmis, I think, she says she's your best friend.
She is.
And that she loves you. Okay. I just want to make sure that Kimmis was legit and not some kind of crazy stalker.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that name does sound a little weird.
Now, I'm excited because we've talked about you coming out to the CMA Fest this year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a new thing for you. I mean, I guess I just picture you walking around with your camera, taking pictures of the interviews and maybe some red carpet stuff and maybe some performance stuff with the country music artists. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I
think so too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, is that outside of your comfort zone a little bit, or do you think that you're going to be like 100% cool with it?
Oh, it's outside my comfort zone, and I'm going to be nervous as crap, but I love about it.
No, I don't think you should be nervous at all. You need to bring a ton of business cards with you, though, and then maybe bring some examples and set some stuff up for people to look at while they're there, too.
Okay.
Because we've got just a ton of room. We have a ton of room, so you can set up your own little spot and just have all kinds of stuff to show off. I think that'd be fun. I mean, if you're down with it.
Absolutely, yes. I've got like a 20-foot picture somewhere. I'll put it up there.
I had a cool thought the other day, and I'm just going to bring this up on the air because we might as well, right?
Okay.
It would be cool if I were to talk with B.B. Kings like in the next couple of months, and I were to arrange for a few artists to come out to B.B. Kings, maybe you could just sort of take their pictures on stage, and maybe you could even go ahead and start that type of portfolio. I mean, if that's something that you want to try out.
I mean, you never know until you try it.
Yeah, and that could be something. Yeah, and that could be something for you to showcase maybe at the CMA Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a thought that I had, but I think it might be fun, and it might make you a little more comfortable too going into it before the actual fest itself. But that's something we can talk about later on too.
Okay, that's a great idea.
For sure. Now Heather says Alex is beyond amazing. She's the only one I want to photograph my family because I don't think anyone else could capture us the way she does. She even kept our daughter in her lap and sang to her so my husband and I could get a few of just us two. And then she said, how sweet. So people just love you to death.
Oh, my face is going to freeze.
Hey, take a quick selfie and post it. Let's see what you're...
It's like as red as a tomato.
Now, aside from the photography, I want to ask a few personal questions because, I mean, people can basically go read your biography and they can check out your photos and stuff. Now, before I ask those, though, if people do want to contact you and maybe get some pictures done, how do they do that?
They can. The best way is to email me, and my email is info@alexsumnerphotography.com. It's a lot easier to keep track of people. They're more than welcome to call me too if they want. The email is probably best.
Okay, and is that email up on your website as well?
It is. They can also message me on Facebook.
Okay. And you said you're still working on your Twitter. That's not your favorite form yet, right? Your social network?
I'm really bad at Twitter.
Well, you always get back with me on Twitter. I mean, you're not that bad.
Yeah, that is good.
But I mean, we're tight though, right? I mean, you and me, we're good.
Absolutely. I consider us like best friends.
Yeah, we're besties now. Hey, are you a good cook?
Depends on if you ask me or my husband. I think I'm an amazing cook.
So he doesn't sugarcoat anything. If it's bad, does he tell you?
No, I think he definitely lies about it, and he says it's,
he's not a good liar then, huh?
Well, it's lately I have noticed that he's started to pick up cooking himself. Like, even if he's worked like a super long shift at work, he'll come home and be like, no, babe, don't cook. I've got this. Right. I'm like, Jeremy, we're on like day 12 of you cooking. Can I cook yet?
I'll just let him do it. It's fine. It's good. It's all good. Now, I've got some non-photography questions to ask you. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, so take a deep breath. These could get kind of intense.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready? Are you nervous?
A little.
Okay, no, you shouldn't be. Now, if you could have any superhero power, what would you pick?
Oh, that's easy. I would definitely want to fly.
Oh, where would you go?
Where would I go? Okay, that's a harder question.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't... I've always wanted to sit on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
Is that weird? I mean, I don't want to climb a mountain.
Well, you're one of those artsy photographer types, so it is not weird at all.
That's right. Yeah, I fit in. I do. I want to sit on top of a mountain and fly there instead of climb, and probably, actual places, maybe like, I don't know, Italy. That's a good place to fly to. That would be a really long flight.
Now, I have an idea of where you're going to go with this next question, because we've been talking about the Powerball and how it's up over $1 billion and all that stuff. If you happen to win that, what would you do with the money?
Okay. What would I do?
With $1 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of cash. I bet you could get a really nice camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I could upgrade my equipment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pay off debt. Probably, I'd probably donate the money to like the Humane Society and St. Jude's and where else? I'm sure I could think of more. I would also, I already said pay off debt. That's pretty important. I'd also probably change my identity somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I've been reading some weird articles lately about people.
Sure. Well, when you say change your identity, do you mean like just change your name, or like plastic surgery, the whole 9 yards?
Oh, I just I would just want to hide somewhere for a while until people forgot about me, because I've read these articles where people just go crazy when people win all of this money.
Yeah, you'd almost have to go in hiding. You really would.
What?
You'd almost have to go in hiding, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now I pictured you like just taking your camera, hiring a tutor, and just traveling the world and taking a bunch of pictures.
That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be cool to do that for like a year or two?
It would. Actually, one thing that my husband and I have talked about, like when the kids get older and they move out, we just want to live in an RV and just travel the U.S. and just see wherever everything takes us, and I think that would definitely help. I can buy our RV with that.
Yeah, and how do you see all of this coming together? I mean, like when you are older, I mean, I'm assuming that you're going to be taking pictures for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by that time, do you think that maybe you'll I guess come out of your comfort zone a little bit and start publishing some of those other pictures and maybe go in different directions, or do you think you'll you'll stick with the family photography forever?
I see myself in the future taking a more personal route. I definitely see myself probably posting those pictures that I'm too scared to post now. Probably doing a lot of personal work. I feel like I'm just going to mature enough to where I don't have to worry about what people think anymore. And there's so much burning inside of me that's just too scared to come out. And I think that over years' time, it's going to. I don't know if I'll stay in business forever, but I definitely see myself doing a lot more personal work for sure.
I would love to see some of your other stuff. You should, when we meet up and stuff and do some of this stuff, you should like bring a couple of samples.
Okay.
And let me see. I mean, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I mean, I would. You just got me curious.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I could.
And I'm not patient, so don't forget.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to us hanging out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to have food and people, like talented people, like crazy. Have you ever just hung out in Nashville and just noticed how many talented people there are there, just around every corner?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, especially at night. People, a lot of musicians and dancers and all kinds of people come out and are always on the sidewalks and doing their thing, and I love seeing the talent out there.
Yeah, it's just insane. I always thought those were good pictures, like the pictures of like the people playing outside on the streets and stuff.
Yeah.
I bet it would be cool to hang out with you in Nashville for a day while you just took pictures. I bet that would be so much fun.
That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, that's something I haven't thought about doing before.
Yeah, so you could get Kenneth to go with you, and she could hold your lenses.
Oh, good. She's a photographer too. I think she would like to do it as well.
Yeah, you guys could just switch up. It'd be fun.
Yes.
So what's on the walk me through like a typical week, because you said you usually have what was it, 4, 5, 6 different sessions? Do you call them sessions? What do you call them?
Yep. Yeah, I have between 4 and 6 sessions a week, or a month. Sorry, not a week, a month. So usually 1 to 2 a week. My normal week goes Monday through Friday are usually my editing days and my consultations. Those are really tricky days, especially having 2 toddlers. And then on the weekends, I usually shoot on the weekends. It's very rare that I shoot during the weekdays, but if it's more convenient for me and the client, then I will. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you kind of work around their schedule as well.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are getting close to being out of time. We got like 2 minutes left. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
It's nuts. Now, I do have one more question to ask you, and this is like the question.
Okay.
So if you could have 5 minutes to sit down with anybody, and this could be anybody living, anybody dead, just anybody throughout history, who would it be?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Kidding. I'm really not kidding.
I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm sure you'd be taking a few pictures.
I would definitely take a few pictures. Really, though, I would love to sit down and have a coffee with Sally Mann, who is a photographer. I think she lives in Kentucky. And she is just she's a photographer that I think about her all the time. I first heard about her at Austin P when I took photography, and I've fallen in love with her ever since. She used to take pictures of her kids growing up. And they're always just very brave and daring kids. I mean, you never knew if you were going to see a picture of one of them naked, to be honest. But it wasn't like gross or anything. It was just her kids being her kids.
Right.
And I don't know, just her pictures always tell stories, and she still shoots film, which I think is really awesome. So if I could just sit with her and, take a peek inside of her brain, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. So you've got heroes in the photography world.
I do, yes.
Yeah. And Crystal Larson says, Alex did amazing photos of my kids. They're priceless. And, I read stuff like this, and you're really doing something wonderful, I think, for people. You're really capturing those memories and hanging on to this stuff that, would normally be lost. And I feel like it's human nature sometimes just to take things and to take moments, even those precious moments, for granted. And I'm sure I would almost go as far as to say, no matter how many pictures you take, it seems like it would never be enough. Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, I look back at my kids and there's pictures, but I wish there were more.
Yes, always.
Yeah, my son just this past Sunday he left to go to Paris Island. He joined the Marines. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've been looking back a lot lately at just old pictures and just seeing him grow up, and I wish I had a few hundred more pages and more videos and stuff like that. So I mean, what you're doing is really priceless. I mean, I don't know how much you charge for this stuff, but I mean, I don't know that you can put a price on it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, is there anything that we missed that you want to bring up or talk about, or are we good?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm good. I don't know what else I can say. I've said so much.
Well, no, it was actually a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm just so happy that that we came across each other, and that you're going to go and do some stuff with us and hang out with us at some of these events. And because I can tell through your post and through your biography and from talking to you that you really are a good person. And from all of the comments that people have been leaving in the chat, that you're very genuine. And that's the kind of stuff we look for. And those are the kind of people that we want to surround ourselves with. So just looking at your work and knowing the type of person that you are, I would definitely hire you to do stuff for me, just because that trust is there, and I know that you're a decent person. I mean, I know there are a lot of talented photographers out there, but I think it's important too to find the decent people in the world as well to work with.
Yes, thank you. I might cry as soon as I hang up.
You don't have to do that. It would help the ratings though for the show if you would. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
But thank you so much. And we've got 3 more shows coming up. One at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. They're musical artists that are going to be on the show. And that's what I'm used to. I kind of stepped outside of my comfort zone today, and we've had a couple of wonderful photographers on the show. So that's really cool. And if you want to see some of Alex's work, then you need to definitely go to her website, alexsumnerphotography.com. I've also got some stuff up on thechristalkprogram.com if you want to go there and check that out. So check her out. Get in touch with her for sure. Great lady and wonderful talent. So until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and I'm gone.
Maybe a dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time